9 o'clock sharp. The transfer went through. $700 again. The screen blinked. Payment sent. And for a second, I just watched it glow. The same click, the same breath, the same lie I told myself every week. This was what peace looked like. Behind me, Zoe was humming, feet swinging off the chair. Her crayon rolled across the table, landing beside my coffee. "Mommy, can I draw Grandpa today?" she asked. I nodded. "Sure, sweetheart." She smiled, started sketching two tall stick figures holding hands. "Does Grandma like pink?" I hesitated. She used to... My phone buzzed a message from Mom. "Don't forget your father's medication. He's almost out." No greeting. "No thank you. Just an order." I typed back. "I'll add it to the list," then deleted the message instead of sending it. My thumb hovered over the screen before I locked the phone. Zoe peeked up. "Are Grandma and Grandpa coming soon?" "They live far away," I said. "How far enough that we can't see them today?" She nodded, satisfied for now, and went back to coloring. I watched her make the sky too bright, the house too perfect, in her world. Everything connected, no bills, no distance, no silence. The front door creaked. I didn't have to turn around to know who it was. My neighbor, Mrs. Clark, poked her head in with her usual smile. "Morning, Hannah. Long shift again." "Yeah," I said, "just finished." She spotted the open laptop. "Bills. Something like that." Mrs. Clark's smile faded. "You should keep something for yourself once in a while." "I do," I said. "I keep quiet." She didn't know what to do with that, so she gave Zoe a cookie and slipped out, leaving the air too still. The clock hit 9:05. I closed the laptop, rubbed my eyes, and told myself I wasn't tired, just disciplined. That's what Dad used to say when I cried over grades. Discipline builds character. Now, it built silence. Zoe held up her drawing. "Look, Mommy, this is us, and that's Grandma and Grandpa waving." Her smile was wide, proud. "It's beautiful," I said. She didn't notice that I couldn't look at it for long. The coffee had gone cold, the money was gone, and it was still only Monday. The call came right after dinner. Mom's voice filled the room before I could even say hello. "Hannah, your father's car needs repairs again. The shop said around 600. I just sent 700 this morning," I said. "That's for the rent and bills. This is separate. Maybe you could wait until next week." A pause, thin, sharp. "Do you want your father to lose his job? He's already done so much for you." The words slid in like old knives. I almost said no, he hasn't. But I stopped. I heard the clatter of dishes behind her. Dad's voice faint, annoyed. "Tell her to stop making excuses," he muttered. "I heard him," I said quietly. Mom's tone hardened. "You used to be grateful. Ever since that child came along, you've changed. That child has a name," I said. "It's Zoe. She's your problem. Hannah, not ours. Don't make us pay for your choices." The line went silent. I could hear Zoe in the living room, singing to her stuffed rabbit. The sound made my chest ache. "I'll send it tomorrow," I whispered. "Good girl," Mom said, and hung up. The next morning, I wired the money. The receipt blinked confirmation, clean and cold. Later, at work, Matt found me by the vending machine. His tie was crooked, eyes tired. "You still sending them money?" he asked. "Yeah. You know they could afford half of it if they stopped eating out every night." "I'm not doing it for them," I said. He frowned. "Then who for? For peace?" He gave a short laugh. "Peace. You're buying guilt, not peace." "I know." We stood there, two grown kids buying silence with paychecks. Matt shoved his hands into his pockets. "They called me last night, too, said you were struggling. They wanted me to help you." I almost smiled. At least they're consistent. He shook his head. "You're not their wallet, hon." "Maybe not. But I'm the one they call when something breaks." When I got home, Zoe's drawing was still on the fridge, 4 people holding hands. The crayon lines looked steadier than any of us. Zoe counted on her fingers while I tied the last ribbon. 6 candles, she said. Grandma likes pink. Grandpa likes blue. We'll use both, I said. They'll see it from the gate. She held up a folded card, edges wrinkled from careful hands. I drew us holding hands, she said. Can I give it to them first? You can, I said. You should. Mrs. Clark stepped in with a paper bag, lemonade and cups. She said, You two ready? Zoe bounced. Grandma and Grandpa are coming. Mrs. Clark glanced at me, then smiled at Zoe. Then we better save them a seat. Kids from down the block rushed through, all noise and shoes and laughter. Happy birthday, Zoe, they yelled. She beamed, gripping the card like a treasure. I lit the candles. Make a wish, I said. I wish for them to come, she whispered. Eyes on the gate. We sang. She blew. Everyone cheered. Cake later, she told her friends. I have to wait. Parents thanked me, checked watches, promised to bring their kids back to the castle tomorrow. Big day, one of them said. Family coming, yes, I said. They are. After the first hour, Zoe stood by the fence. Maybe they got lost, she said. Maybe, I said. Let's try the balloons. She waved a string of them high, like a signal. After the second hour, she pinched the corners of her card. Do I give it at the door or at the table? At the door, I said, so they see it first. After the third, the candles had melted low. Mrs. Clark pressed a cupcake into my hand. Eat, she said. You have not all day. I did not bite. My phone stayed silent on the counter. Zoe tugged my sleeve. Should I stand closer? Maybe they cannot see me. You can stand with me, I said. I will be your sign. She took my hand, small and warm. Her card tucked under her arm like a wing. I will say surprise, she said. Only a little loud. They will hear you, I said. When the last child left, the yard felt too open. Mrs. Clark can keep the castle till tonight? I said. Zoe nodded, eyes on the street. Maybe they are late, she said. Sometimes you are late. I am late for work, I said. They do not work today. She tried out a smile and could not keep it. Will you call them, I will? I said. I stepped inside and dialed voicemail. I hung up without leaving words. Zoe stood in the doorway. Maybe they forgot, she said, like she had found the right answer and did not want it. Maybe. I said, You can open your presents. I want to give mine first, she said, holding up the card. It is for them. Mrs. Clark rested a hand on my shoulder. I can stay, she said. I know, I said. Thank you. We sat on the porch steps. The street was quiet except for a distant lawnmower and a stray laugh that did not belong to us. Zoe leaned her head on my arm. If they come. I will run, she said. I will run so fast. You always do, I said. You run like the wind. The sun tilted low. The bouncy castle sagged with a thin sigh. Should I save the cake? She asked. Yes, I said. We will save it. My phone buzzed once. A new message. Tell Zoe happy birthday from us. Zoe lifted her head. Was that them? It was, I said. What did they say? I looked at the single line. No name. No period. Nothing to hold. They said happy birthday. I said. She waited by the steps with the card in both hands. I will keep the door open, she said. You can... I said. I will sit with you. Zoe was asleep when I called. The card she'd made was still on the table, a little bent from waiting. I stared at it while the line rang. Mom answered, her tone sharp. It's late. Hannah, what do you need? I need to know why you didn't come today. She sighed, the kind that always meant I was being unreasonable. We weren't in the mood for a crowd. It wasn't a crowd. It was her birthday. We sent a message. She said, Don't make this dramatic. Dad's voice cut in from the background. If she wants attention, let her buy it. Dad, I said. You could have called her. She waited all day. He came closer to the phone. She's a child. She'll forget. She's 6. Then it's your job to keep her busy. Something cracked in me. Quiet but final. She's your granddaughter. Silence. Then his voice again. Low. Measured. Your child means nothing to us. The world held still. What he didn't repeat it. Just a click, the kind that ends conversations and families. The phone stayed at my ear even after the line went dead. I could hear my own breathing, the faint hum of the refrigerator, the clock ticking over the sink. I put the phone down and looked at the card again. Crayon hearts, stick figures, a house with 4 windows. Zoe had written "Love you always" in shaky pink letters. I picked it up, but my hand shook so hard I almost tore it. I pressed it flat again and whispered to no one. She means everything. The front door creaked. Mrs. Clark's voice came softly. Lights still on, I nodded, wiping my eyes before she could see. She fell asleep. Yes. Did they call? They called? I said. Mrs. Clark studied me for a long moment. You don't have to keep chasing people who don't turn around. I wasn't chasing, I said. I was holding on. Same thing. Honey. She touched my arm and left without waiting for an answer. The house felt heavier when she was gone. I turned off the phone, then the lights, one by one, until only the glow from Zoe's room remained. She slept curled around her rabbit, breathing slow. I sat beside her and whispered, "You're everything they'll never see." The night didn't move. The clock said 9:07, and I knew the next Monday would not look the same. The clock hit 9:07 when I opened my phone. The screen glowed blue against the dark, the same color it always was when I checked the weekly transfer. The number weighted $700, set to leave my account at 9 the next morning. Zoe stirred on the couch, hair tangled, her stuffed rabbit tucked under her arm. "You're still awake," she mumbled. "I couldn't sleep," I said. "Are you buying something for Nana again?" "Not this time, sweetheart." She nodded, half asleep, trusting whatever I said. When her breathing softened again, I scrolled through the list of automatic payments: rent, groceries, power, their insurance, the car repairs. Every line had my name beside theirs. I hovered over the first one. Cancel. Confirm. The phone asked if I was sure. I pressed yes. The second one went faster. The third, faster still. Each confirmation sounded like a door closing. By the time I reached the last one, automatic transfer, $700, every Monday at 9 a.m. My hands stopped shaking. I stared at the words until my reflection blurred in the screen. Then I deleted it too. For the first time in months. The app was empty. No more schedules. No more reminders. Just silence. 40 minutes later, the silence broke. My phone buzzed. A message from Mom. "Can you order us dinner?" "Nothing fancy. Maybe Chinese. Your father's tired." I read it once. Then again. I almost laughed, but it came out like air leaving a wound. I didn't answer. I turned the phone face down on the counter. The faucet dripped once. The refrigerator hummed. Somewhere in the stillness, something inside me finally stopped trying to explain itself. I poured the leftover lemonade into the sink, watched the bubbles fade. Then I walked to Zoe's room. She slept curled in her blanket, her cheek pressed against the rabbit's ear. I knelt beside her bed, brushed a strand of hair away. "You're everything," I whispered. "Even if they can't see it." Her fingers twitched, small and trusting. When I stood, I felt lighter. Not happy, not sad, just done. Back in the kitchen, the clock still blinked 9:07, the same minute the payments used to go through. I looked at the empty screen and said quietly, "Not anymore." Then I turned off the light and let the dark stay. The next morning, I was halfway through my first cup of coffee when the phone rang. Ms. Reed. The man's voice was polite, cautious. "This is Richard, your parents' landlord. Their rent didn't come through. That's unlike you. It's not my responsibility anymore," I said. He hesitated. "They told me you managed their payments." I used to. I see, he said, unsure what to do with the answer. Should I call them instead? Yes, I said. Call them. When the call ended, the silence in the kitchen felt new, like something had been pulled out of the air. A few hours later, my brother Matt called. Mom says you've lost your mind, he said. Define lost. She said you're cutting them off. I am. He didn't speak for a long moment. I heard traffic, the sound of his turn signal clicking. Good, he said finally. I'm done too. I almost dropped the phone. You've been sending money a few hundred every month. Groceries, gas, whatever they wanted. I thought if we both helped, they'd change. They never told me. They never told me about you either, he said. Guess we were paying rent on the same guilt. I leaned against the counter. They lied to both of us. Of course they did, he said. That's what control looks like. His voice cracked a little. I kept waiting for them to notice me. Maybe thank me once. They won't, I said. They can't. Then I guess we're free. For now. I said. We stayed quiet. It wasn't the awkward kind, it was something else. The kind that recognized the damage between us and didn't try to fix it too fast. Matt broke it first. You did the right thing. Hon, I didn't do it for them. I know, he said. Do it for her. I looked toward Zoe's room. She was humming again, building something out of colored blocks, her voice soft and sure. When I hung up, I scrolled through my messages. The last one from Mom still sat at the top. Can you order us dinner? I pressed my thumb on it until the delete option appeared. Then I tapped confirm. The phone screen went blank. It looked almost peaceful. Matt texted first, do not open Facebook. I called him anyway. What is it? They're live, he said. They're talking about you, about Zoe. My phone is already in my hand. Don't watch, he said. It's poison. I need to hear it myself. Then I'm staying on the line. He said, I'm not hanging up. I opened the app. The live stream sat at the top, a red rectangle that pulsed like a wound. I tapped it. My parents' faces filled the screen. Mom pinched and tearful. Dad rigid, jaw locked. Mom spoke first. We have always supported our daughter, she said. We never refused her child. Matt exhaled through his teeth. Lie number 1. I kept my voice steady. Let it play. Mom dabbed a tissue at eyes that were dry. She's told awful things about us. She has turned people against us. We are praying for her. Dad leaned toward the camera. She forced money on us, he said. For years, I tasted metal. I have the receipts. I said, she knows that. Matt said, they do not care. Someone off screen asked a question. Dad held up a page. No, not a page. Paper with crayon marks. The birthday card. Where did they get that? I said. They must have picked it up. Matt said. Hannah. Dad lifted the card higher, so close the pink letters filled the frame. This is what she uses, he said. Guilt, manipulation. Mom leaned in, softer now, like a sermon. We love our family, she said, but we will not be used. Dad's voice dropped to that measured tone I knew too well. This child does not exist to us. The words sat in the air, heavy and exact. A comment stream exploded beneath them, hearts, thumbs, curses, prayers, little storms that meant nothing. Matt's voice cracked. He said it again. To everyone. I heard him. I said. Mom pasted on a fragile smile. We hope our friends pray for our daughter. She said. She needs help. She is sick with anger. Dad nodded, satisfied. We're done being treated like villains. I ended the stream. The screen went black. My reflection looked back at me, paler than I remembered. Matt's voice was still in my ear. Say something, and I will post it. He said. I will do it under my name. No post, I said. They cannot talk like that, and no. I said. Let them keep talking. A knock came at the door, 2 light taps. Mrs. Clark. She stepped in and saw the phone. I watched, she said quietly. I told her not to. Matt muttered. Mrs. Clark ignored him. People are already sharing it, she said. Some of them called it brave. I smiled without warmth. They will call anything brave if it is loud enough. She lowered her voice. Do you want me to say something on your page? No, I said. I want you to take the card. She blinked. The birthday card. Yes, I said. Keep it safe for me. She nodded and tucked it into her bag as if it were glass. My phone buzzed again, notifications stacking like hail. Matt cursed. I'm blocking numbers, he said. Church people, cousins I do not remember. A man who sold Dad a lawnmower in 1998. Let them write. I said, You're too calm, he said. I'm not calm. I said, I'm done. Mom called then. Her name lit the screen. I put it on speaker. Hannah, she said, voice syrupy. I hope you saw our message. We are ready to reconcile, but you need to tell people the truth. What truth? I said, that we never refused your daughter, she said. That you invented it, Matt growled. Say her name, Mom turned brittle. Do not raise your voice at me. Matthew, say her name. He repeated. Silence. I spoke first. Her name is Zoe, I said. She is 6. Dad's voice slid in from somewhere close to the receiver. You're baiting us for sympathy. I'm not baiting you. I said, I'm listening. Then hear this. He said, we are not changing our story. I ended the call. Matt swore softly. We should post proof, he said. Not yet, I said. You want to wait? He said, I want them to keep talking. I said, I want them to use their own words. I set the phone face down. The room went quiet enough that I could hear Zoe in the next room counting blocks under her breath. Steady and unbothered, Mrs. Clark zipped her bag around the card and touched my shoulder. I'll bring it back when you ask, she said. I will ask, I said. 2 days later, my cousin Kayla called. Her voice shook. They're here, she said. Where? At the reunion. They just showed up like they're saints. Then leave. I said, no. She said, you might want to see this. An hour later, the video appeared on my feed. Someone had gone live from the picnic tables behind Aunt Nora's house. I could hear children in the background, the sound of folding chairs scraping the ground. My parents stood near the center, surrounded by relatives. Mom was speaking, her voice practiced. We love Hannah. She's confused. That's all. That poor child, she doesn't even know what her mother's been saying about us. Dad nodded, hands folded in front of him. Family should forgive. We're here to heal. Kayla's voice came from off camera. Before or after you said her kid doesn't exist. Mom froze. Excuse me, Kayla stepped into view, holding up her phone. You want to talk about truth. Right. Let's listen to some. She pressed play. My father's voice filled the speakers cold. Exact. Your child means nothing to us. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Someone whispered, Did he just Mom turned pale? That's out of context. Kayla's tone sharpened. Context. You said it twice, once to her face. Once to the world. Dad reached for the phone, but Kayla pulled it back. Don't touch me, she said. Aunt Nora's husband, James, stood slowly. If that's how you treat your granddaughter, you don't belong here. No one argued. Mom looked around, searching for an ally. No one met her eyes. Let's go, Dad muttered. We're family, Mom whispered. Not today, James said. The camera followed them as they walked away, Mom clutching her purse, Dad's shoulders tight. Someone off-screen murmured, About time. Another voice said, She deserved better. When the video ended, my phone vibrated with messages. Are you seeing this? They got caught. Finally. Matt called minutes later. You saw it, I did. They humiliated themselves, he said. They did. I said. He was quiet a second. Then, you didn't have to say a word. No, I said. The truth spoke louder. I turned off the phone. Zoe sat on the floor beside me, lining up her toy blocks into perfect rows. "Mommy," she said, "can I build a castle today?" "Yeah, baby," I said, "make it as tall as you want." She smiled, stacking another piece. The sound of plastic clicking together was the only thing left in the room, small and steady, like something being rebuilt from the ground up. The news spread faster than I expected. By noon, the church had deleted their photos from its website. By evening, the landlord changed the locks. Matt called again. "They're blaming us now," he said. "Let them," I said. "They said you ruined their name. They ruined it themselves." He hesitated. "Do you feel bad?" "No," I said. "Do you less than I thought?" A soft knock interrupted us. Mrs. Clark handed me an envelope. "Aunt Nora stopped by earlier," she said this was for you. "Thank you," I said. When she left, I tore the seal carefully. The handwriting was neat, familiar. They chose pride over love. You chose your child. Kindness with boundaries is strength. I read it twice, then slipped it into the drawer beside Zoe's drawings. The phone buzzed again. A number I didn't recognize. I answered anyway. "Hannah," Mom's voice said. "We need to talk." "No, we don't. Your brother and that cousin humiliated us. We have nowhere to stay." "That's not my problem. You can't do this to your parents." "I didn't," I said. "You did." She went quiet for a moment. "Your father's sick. He's been sick for years," I said. "You'll regret this." "Maybe," I said, "but not tonight." I ended the call before she could speak again. Zoe appeared in the hallway, rubbing her eyes. "Mommy, you're loud," she said. "I know, baby. Go back to bed. Are we okay?" I nodded. "We're okay?" She smiled, sleepy and sure, then padded back to her room. The drawer beside me was still open. I touched the letter once more and closed it softly, like a door that didn't need to lock. Morning light spilled across the kitchen table. The same clock on the wall blinked 9:01. For the first time in months, there was no alarm, no transfer waiting to be sent. Zoe sat at the table, spreading jelly on her toast. "Can we have pancakes tomorrow?" "We can have pancakes every day if you want," I said. She grinned. "Even Mondays. Especially Mondays." The phone buzzed once. A text from Matt. "They're gone. Packed up last night. No forwarding address." "Good," I typed back. Zoe hummed while she ate. "Mommy, can Nana and Grandpa come next year?" I paused, then smiled. "No, baby, but we can invite Uncle Matt instead." Her eyes brightened. "He makes better pancakes anyway." "Exactly," I said. She laughed, crumbs scattering across her plate. The sound filled the house light. "Certain." When she ran off to her room, I turned to the counter. The spot where my phone used to sit at 9 a.m. every Monday was empty. I placed a coffee cup there instead. Mrs. Clark knocked once and stepped inside. "You look different," she said. "Maybe I finally slept. Peace suits you. Feels strange." I said, "Keep it." She said, "It looks good on you." After she left, I poured another cup and stood by the window. The street outside was quiet, the kind of quiet that didn't press anymore. Zoe's laughter echoed from her room. I let it fill the space that used to belong to guilt. The clock ticked softly behind me, marking a new routine. I lifted my cup and said, almost to myself, "Some debts are better left unpaid." Then I sat down and let the morning stay.